In this video, I'll be explaining a data structure called the hash map. Hash maps are useful for storing information and retrieving information when you know exactly what you're looking for. A hash map is a collection that stores data as key-value pairs. Data is located using the key, and the data itself is the value. It's similar to definitions in a dictionary. When you're using a dictionary, you know which word you're looking for, and you're trying to figure out what it means. A hash map is the same concept. You know what the key is, but you don't know what the value is at that key. Hash maps are very fast to retrieve data when you're using the key. Let's take a look at an example. Here we're creating a new hash map using the new function that's defined on the hash map structure. When creating new hash maps, you'll need to use a mutable variable because we'll have to manually insert the data within the hash map. Here we can see that we are calling the insert method that's defined on the hash map structure, and we're inserting some data. The first piece of data is called the key, and that's what we'll use to find the data later. The second piece of data is called the value. In this case, I'm inserting people's names and some numbers. These numbers represents the person's age. Here we can see we can remove data from the hash map quite easily as well. All we need is the key, and then it will automatically remove the data. Here we are trying to retrieve some data from the hash map. Here we're matching on the people structure, and we are using the .get method defined on the hash map. .get will retrieve data based on the key. In this case, the key is ed, and as we can see, we have ed in our hash map. So the value that should be returned is 13. We're using a match on here because it's possible that the key you look for does not exist within the hash map. So if it does exist, we'll get some data. In this case, it'll be an age. We will print out that the age equals whatever it happens to be. If we search for a key and it doesn't exist, we'll get none back, which indicates that we searched for a key and the key was not found within the hash map. We then will print out not found. Let's take a look at another example. In this example, we'll use the same data from the previous example where it has people and their age. Here we're going to be iterating through the data. I'll use the for in loop to do the iteration. So this first one here iterates through both the key and the value. To do that, I just call the .iter method that's defined on the hash map structure, which iterates through both key and value pairs. The .iter method returns a tuple, as we can see here by the parentheses, with the first part being the key and the second part being the value. We can then print out each person and their age that's present within the hash map. In this second loop, we are just looking at the keys. So if we do the .keys method on the hash map, we'll just get the keys. In this case, it's just a person's name. So we can print out each person within the hash map. And finally, we're just iterating through the values, which are the ages. So we can go through each age in the hash map and print out just the age. One important thing to note about hash maps is the data is stored in random order. So if you insert 1, 2, 3, you may get back 3, 2, 1 when you iterate through it. This differs from vectors where everything comes in the same order as is placed into the vector. To recap, hash maps store information as key-value pairs. The key is used to access the value. They're very fast to insert and find data when you have the key. And they're useful when you need to find information and know exactly where it is, meaning you have the key.